Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Right, guys, we have about 20 minutes or so for all broadcasters, then cameras off. Neil has to go after that. I will then take Tim into that room to talk to the radio people together, and then to the written press after that. But feel free to fire away.
Tim, welcome back, I guess. First of all, how does it feel to be back? Did you expect this to happen?
You know, it feels amazing. I think for me, it's a big decision. In my footballing career, first for football, and to come home to where it all started is very special. For opportunity the club gave me as a kid to now coming back and trying to make an impact for the team, and I just want to enjoy it. Had a couple of sessions and it just feels like I've never left. The lads have been brilliant. The whole setup is the same, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
You say you want to make an impact. Do you feel you can come back and make an impact?
I think it's about being realistic. We know how many games are left, and obviously I've been in Australia. I've not been training with a team, but looked after by the coaches and that there from the Socceroos. But the main thing is to come and help on and off the park. There's a great squad, great culture about the club, and the new signings are fantastic. And in these situations, I know what it's all about to play for Millwall. I know what the badge is all about, and I know what the fans want, and that's players to be selfless and to be part of the group. So whatever I can do to help on and off the park, I'll do that.
Tim, how important is getting that game time for you now ahead of the World Cup?
No, I don't think it's about game time. I think it's about being in a professional environment. When you challenge yourself at 38 years old to come back to the championship, and the conversations that I've had with the gaffer, and the standards that they have here, sitting with the gaffer and looking at the way they play and seeing the system and the whole thing about it is, it's high levels in training every single day, and to be able to compete in the championship and be amongst these boys is, for me, it's priceless. And that's the key at my age, is challenging myself in the highest level possible, in training, in the gym, and making sure that this chapter is going to be a good one physically. And I don't think about game time as in this way. I think about being as professional as I can and playing at the highest level at this age. Anyone in Australia offered a contract to play in the championship will do anything. It's not easy. So that's why I really respect that opportunity, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Tim, can you remind us why you signed to Millwall in the first place when you were 16? Because I recall that there were other clubs, more high-profile clubs, who were after you then.
No, I think for me it's the first club to give me opportunity, and when you get that opportunity after waiting so long as a kid and being here so long, it was a couple of months, just waiting for that trial, you have to reward that. You have to understand, and I'm so thankful because I learnt my trade here. I played, so many games, had so many special times, and that's what footballers need to do. And in Australia, it's so hard to come over. We had to stay and fight it out, and it was tough, but that's all you ever wanted to do was play, and it's good to be back.
How did this one come about? Was it always on the cards? Have the two of you been in constant contact and talked about it?
No, it wasn't always on the cards. I think the reality is we've got a great relationship in that factor, but the main thing is the gaffer's got a team. He's got a procedure that he's had in place, and what he's built here, the stability he's brought to the club is unbelievable. And so for it to come to fruition like this, it's about being patient. It's about whether I fit in the squad. It's whether I am going to be, that player that can, come on, make a difference, or however it is. So there's always procedures in place, and that's something that I'm thankful in the end that, that I'm back.
Can you speak about the professionalism of this club? How do you find it is going to compare to your time at Melbourne City, and where does that professionalism fit in terms of your strategy of making the World Cup?
It's a championship, so it's the biggest under the Premier League, and everyone is fighting to get in the biggest league in the world. So the fans demand a lot. So when you make these decisions physically, you have to be ready to train. You know, so I know with the way they're training and what they're doing, it's not like, you know, things are not going to be light. There's going to be levels that I have to keep to, and that's what I love. You know, is being in a group, being amongst the new signings now, training, making sure we're getting the right kilometres under the belt, learning about the style of football, learning about the other players, mixing in. So let's just put A-League aside, let's just talk about where I am now and how big the league is and the challenge it is for any kid from Australia to get a contract, let alone me. You know, so that's the focus of the challenge that I wanted to take, and a challenge that the gaffers give me an opportunity to say, you know what, I want you to work hard, but also I want you to make an impact to my team, you know, on and off the park. And that's I can't ask for any more than that, you know, and that's it, regardless of age. What do you want as a footballer? Do you want to stay in the A-League, or do you want to try your hardest to play at the highest level and be competitive in the World Cup if selected?
Have you spoken to an Australian coach at all yet?
No, I haven't. You know, it's been a great appointment, and I think the main focus is just now, you know, doing whatever I can to be, you know, a good professional for Millwall Football Club.
Neil, can I ask you a question about Tim? You know him very well. We played in an FA Cup final together. What does a player like him bring to your team and to your club more broadly?
Well, Millwall leadership is you know, is one aspect of it. When you talk about playing at this football club and what it means to play here, you know, listen to his words of wisdom, can pass on to the squad. But it's on the pitch I'm interested in, his ability to change a game, whether that's from, you know, from a leading role at the start or off the bench. Tim, he's travelled the world and played. You know, played with him for a long time, and you know, appreciated his game when I played with him. Then sort of admired it from afar since. A lot of conversations going on before bringing him in, and Timmy had to come back for the right reasons. You know, you can tell by the way he speaks the hunger, a desire he's got. Sentiment plays a part, of course, because sometimes when you've got sentiment, you've got that drive and that hunger. Timmy wants to score at the Den. You know, he wants to score goals for the football club. He wants to go to the World Cup, and having that inner drive and that inner belief that rub off from my squad. So two things: firstly, footballing ability, yes, big part of playing the team, and secondly, the experience and leadership play a massive factor for us.
Tim, the Socceroos boss speaking for the first time last night, he said it was a very good signal that you come to this club, but no one was guaranteed of their place. But Andy Postecoglou had the same rule with you, didn't he?
Same rule with everyone. You know, if you think about going to a World Cup now, then that's the wrong motives. You have to think about the club you're playing for and the decisions of the level you're going to play. So I chose to pick this route. I chose to sit out as long as possible and wait for something to drop in England, because that's the toughest choice. It's very easy to make the choice and just stay at Melbourne City and enjoy your time. You know, it's very easy to go to the Middle East and go to Asia. I've done it. But the key factor is you've got to be competitive if selected to go to a World Cup. So there's nothing more competitive in my mind than coming to a club that demands intensity, commitment, drive, professionalism. And that's the biggest thing is our conversation is my hunger is just as much to be a great footballer at Millwall than to focus on a World Cup. Because if you focus on a World Cup now, a few of the boys have never been to one. Have never been to one. Injuries, you know, maybe the wrong decisions in clubs. And my experience, I know that I'm willing to put everything on the line because I've been to three, but also at the same time, I want to go there ready. I want to be competitive, and it's very tough to be competitive if you're just going to, you know, go through the motions. So I've only been here 3-4 days, trained twice. You know, I've committed 5 months without my family because, you know, why not? how much does it mean to you as an Australian? It was so hard to play for Australia. It was so hard to be a professional footballer. So, nothing's changed for me now. The appetite's still good. Obviously, I'm older, but it just means you've got to work harder. It means you've got to do extra. So, the manager's like any other manager. Yeah, I've met him a few times playing against Saudi Arabia. I know a lot about him through, players that have worked under him. Van Bommel I've played against, so it is what it is. You've just got to be in the professional environment where the coach, if he needs you, he'll understand your motives, and it's good that he's happy with this decision.
Yeah, what role do you see Tim as a player on the field? Is it kind of striker, kind of midfielder?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, he's not. The last time Timmy played in England, the box-to-box midfielder, he started off as, he's not that player anymore. He knows that, I know that, certainly aware of it. He will play further forward. If you get the ball in the box, he scores goals. He's done that all through his career. The time, the runs, the contact on the ball. Fitness-wise, he looks really sharp in training. A couple of sessions he's done look really sharp today. He's getting those minutes up. Like Timmy calls it, kilometres in the legs. Is key to make sure he's ready. Whether it's a start, naturally would be a starting position from the bench coming on to impact the game. But after that, he's the best man for the shirt for me, regardless of age. Certainly, all factors into my team selection. What we'll say in the Championship is a great league. Yes, it is fast and physical, but you need quality. You need to understand how to play in certain roles. Timmy's certainly got that in abundance.
Tim, were there any doubts you left the club, you're a club legend, you're a club hero, or any thoughts of leave it as it is, perhaps not in danger, tainting that memory at all?
No, because I'm not really scared of failure. My whole career has been about challenging myself. When you go back to Australia and play for a club that's never won anything, there's a lot of pressure on me being that main guy. When you sign for these big leagues, you have to score goals, you have to produce. So the challenge is to mentally keep yourself professional. First in, last out, first in, doesn't matter what league it is. And the same thing's going to be here. So my thing was sitting with Neil and Livers, the same thing the other day when we finalised, was all about what he showed me on the computer. His method, what he's created, the players, the style of football, and even the video, when they sign players. So you can't just make blind decisions thinking, it's going to be sentimental, because you got to live and die by that in the end. But I also want to do well for the gaffer, regardless of our relationships playing together, regardless of our history. We're only really, people only see what happens, right then, and then who knows what happens. But I'm just excited by the opportunity, and I'm driven because I've put everything into it, most definitely. And in my career, and people that I have around me, have, not one person said that this is the wrong decision. And it didn't take long to do. It was, all right, sweet, signed, done. I was done and dusted once we had that meeting, and I was very emotional the other night, and that's the feeling that's never really left me. But it's so surreal when you're in it.
Neil, the Premier League clubs have just spent £430 million in 1 month on transfers alone. In many ways, have you just pulled off the best and most romantic and most sentimental deal of the whole transfer window among any club in England?
I hope so, certainly. I think only time will tell. I think any deal you do, especially in January, whether you pay 18 million for Oliver Giroud, whether you bring Timmy in on a free signing, it's a gamble, because you don't know how players are going to perform in your environment. We hope Timmy has a major impact. If he doesn't, it won't be for a lack of trying from his behalf. That's certainly the case. We look forward to working with him. The players have fed off him already. It was great having him in the dressing room the other night. Football's crazy now. £400 million in a transfer window. Time will tell. Time will tell how good business has been for us in this window.
Tim, do you intend to make yourself available for friendlies in Norway in April?
I think as a footballer, you intend to do well at your club. That's the reason why I've played in 3 World Cups and all around the world. is I wasn't meant to go to the last World Cup. I wasn't meant to win an Asian Cup. And without the guidance of, you know, Craig Duncan, Les Gellis, the physios, even today, constantly texting, data, boom, send, what have you done yesterday, day off, in, this, you know, working with the staff at Millwall, there's a procedure. You know, today I've got to do maybe 5-7 Ks. Tomorrow I've got to do a certain level. So the drive is, how competitive can I be in training every day, and then build up when they tick the boxes and say, you know, it's ready to, you know, get some minutes. So I'm always realistic. I know that there's 18 games left. I know that there's 20 odd players. I understand that there's a cup run. It means there's going to be, if you're training well, persistent in the fact that you're training and obviously getting the minutes in, then everyone's going to play.
So how would you measure this half season with Millwall? Is it making World Cup? Is it game time here?
No, I'm not measuring anything. I'm just being professional. And I'm testing myself in a tough league that any kid in Australia gets offered a contract to play in the championship. You ask Miller Yednak, you ask Mas Luongo, you ask Bailey Wright Phillips how tough it is. And that's the challenge that I wanted. I wanted to test myself.
Neil, on the wall, cameras can't see, there's a poster of the FA Cup final squad, and right next to your side is Tim Cahill. He has, as he just said, defied the critics time and time again. What of that young boy that came from Millwall makes you understand how he's done that?
In so many ways, he's still the young lad that I used to sit next to in the dressing room. Having seen him, so when he came in to do his medical, the buzz he had in his face when he walked in the dressing room, that's infectious. You know, he's always been an infectious person, a character. You know, it's key. You know, they are key moments in our club's career, and you know they are, you know, important factors in this. That Timmy coming back, because he's been a big part of the history of the club. He knows what it means to play at the club, and that brightness, that characteristic that he's got will rub off in my dressing room. You don't just make 38 years of age and still represent your country and play in one of the best divisions, you know, in the world, if you haven't got the ability still, and certainly you haven't got the makeup for it mentally. Physically, now seeing him, he's in great shape. Can he go to the World Cup? Yeah, of course he can. No reason why not. Can he play regularly in the Championship? Yeah, definitely. Because the way he's conducted himself ever since he was a young lad. Matured, definitely. Wiser, yes. Still the young man at heart? I think so.
Tim, what would it mean to you to go to 4 World Cups? I mean, how can you sum that up?
Listen, the best thing is everyone wants to talk about it, and before every other World Cup, I've never spoke about going there. I always speak about what I'm going to do in getting to the next camp. You know, it's so important. I speak to so many of the youngsters. We've got James Meredith here. So it's my job to test him every day, physically and mentally. You know, there's certain parameters that we have to be in physically, weight, fats. And he's playing every game in a tough club. We've got a young Australian boy there as well. And the attention that's brought to this club is so important to me because I feel it deserves it in Australian players. So you think about the small things first, you know, and that's what I teach youngsters, you know, is that you have to not, like, you know, first thing I need to do is get my minutes up on the training pitch, my kilometres, my highest intensity training, and then get myself on the bench. That's the next thing. And then after that, who knows? But, you know, if you're a striker and you look at the national team, you look at where all the strikers are playing, you've got to put yourself in a competitive place that you're level, or if not higher, or on par. So the World Cup, 4 World Cups, of course it'd be brilliant, but it's never been that thing. You know, when you speak to top managers who I've played under, or friends, or people, it's selfish just for me to say, okay, 4 World Cups, that's why I've come here. No, this is the challenge first.
Neil, you said you kind of looked at Tim, said he's in good shape, but you know you'll ease him in. But how soon do you think he'll be ready to actually put on the shirt? Is he going to be on the bench from the start? Or?
Yeah, only time will tell. You know, what we won't do is push him too soon. You know, it's just not worth the risk. We've got 17 league games left, a cup game at Rochdale, a replay to try and get through. As we've got 18 guaranteed fixtures. Not got a massive squad even after the transfer window, so we need to make sure everyone's fit and available for as long as possible. So you know, we take care of the players and make sure Tim's in the best shape when his opportunity comes, and his opportunity will come sooner rather than later. So yeah, realistically, he's minutes behind people at the moment. So you know, we need to build his way in through minutes on the training pitch, whether it's behind closed doors friendlies, whereas 23's games. You know, we'll have to work it out. But then when he comes into the first team fold, then realistically probably off the bench, because that's the route for everybody. It'd be great for us to have him as fit as possible, as quickly as possible. Certainly as a manager, give me options.
Tim, you've always been a player who's made himself accessible to fans. Tell us about your relationship with Millwall fans, because you know people refer to them as being the most passionate fans. Others probably say less kind things about Millwall fans. But tell us about your relationship with them.
It's all passion. You know, for the generations of what they've created here it's hard to put into words, because they live Monday to Friday to go to the games, 2 games a week. You know, the lifestyle, where they work, where they come, and they're in it. They live it. They breathe it. And it's so similar. You know, why I chose a club like Everton. You know, I know I'm at Millwall, but it's just part of their life. It's a way of life. And I knew that coming back, that if you don't have the drive, or you don't have the makeup to be brave enough to go on the pitch and take the ball when no one wants it, or to run and to tackle, and like how they were the other night, the intensity was amazing. All they want is hope. All they want is you know, all the players fighting for the badge. They want everyone in the trenches, and you know, that's all I knew growing up. They give me the opportunity, and I'll do anything for this football club. I always said that I would come back, you know, if I could, and that's why it was such an easy decision, you know. But everything was ticked in the right way, and that's why I'll do anything. Train, play, whenever. You know, I've spoke with a lot of the lads before and after the game the other night, on the training pitch, in the gym. If they see me in the gym first and see me last, then it means they've got to maybe do something. It might change the way that they think. And I've always been that guy in every club that I've been at, and I love it. You know, there's not many games left in my body, as in, you know, 100 games. I wouldn't say that, but I'm going to make, you know, the last 30 games of my life the best.
Who made the initial contact, and how soon was it from maybe the first phone call or email or whatever to Tim sitting in front of us here?
Timmy called me. Yeah, Timmy called me. Said that he was, you know, wanted to go to the World Cup, wanted a new challenge. What do I think? So we had various conversations. We both had to make sure it was right for the right reasons. Timmy's not got any younger, and he is a hero at this football club, and he had to make sure he wanted to come back, you know, at that standing, and you know, I had to make sure I was getting the right player for our squad. We spoke various times. Timmy flew over, had the option of various clubs in England. I think it's been well documented. We met last week, myself, Tim and Dave Livermore, and had a really good conversation. Obviously, he's already spoke about the propaganda we showed him, Mill propaganda, and he liked what he saw and wanted to come in. And you know, it was a no-brainer for his decision to come to us, but the same for us to bring him back in. You know, to bring in a player with experience and a player of real quality on the football pitch. And you talk about standards, talk about first in, last out. Little things like that are important. You know, players feed off that. We have really high standards at this football club, and if we can raise them by whatever means, then you know, it's important for us. And Timmy certainly raised those standards.
A couple more questions, guys.
Tim, you talked in one of your first answers. You said you came back as almost like you hadn't been away, but things obviously have changed. So when you came originally, you were pretty much a boy.
Yeah.
Now you're the other end of your career. So what is different coming to Millwall now compared to when you came as a wide-eyed, ambitious?
Do you know the best thing about this club is they never leave anyone behind. You know, you look at the kit man, you look at the people that work here. You know, Tonksy was here when I was here. Everyone at this club is part of its makeup. Kissing, you know, the dinner lady that was here when I was here, and you know, it's just unbelievable, and I feel so relaxed and comfortable, and they take care of everyone. So young Tomo, the other night in the change room, like, you know, the lads were having some banter because, you know, he's a fan, and obviously, you know, and I get to spend time today on the pitch with Tomo. I get to train, I get to, you know, talk to him about football, and I get to make these players better, the younger ones, who look at me as someone, as a mentor, and also as someone that they've idolised. So, yeah, there's a few walls that's been moved, but the thing is, there's stability now, there's belief, there's hope, and that's been built off the back of what the gaffer and the staff and the fans, now they'll always come back if you give them something to come back for, and they'll always be here, and they'll ride the wave with you. And yeah, it's romantic, it's fantastic, it ticks all them boxes, but it was right, it was the right decisions. And yeah, I'm not naive in the fact that I don't want this just to be a romantic story and someone to feel sorry to sign me, because, you know, I need to make sure that I still got those options to still play in other championship clubs if needed, because it might not have fitted the gaffer's, you know, mould. So I can't thank the gaffer and Steve and everyone at this football club for, you know, making me feel welcome, and everything's just been so smooth. You know, from the time they've seen me with the medical to signing, there's no questions asked. You know, I'm home now. You know, and that's one of the biggest things. What I said to the gaffer when we were on the phone is, you know, I'll wait. If I have to wait, I'll wait, regardless of what else is going on. And you have to go to other clubs and speak to managers. You have to go and do that because, you know, everyone's taking risks here, and you want to make sure at 38 years old that if the championship's the level that's going to make you most competitive and give you an opportunity to be selected for another World Cup, then let's have a crack at it.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
If you'd like to take a shot from the pitch, or stand up so I can take you through this door, please exit the same way too.
Just a couple of minutes on the game.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, mate.
Good.